Hello all, welcome to my tutorial. So today I am going to explain about part 2 of CSS. Okay, so in last session I have explained about part 1 of CSS. So I just will summarize part 1 what I have explained for 2 minutes. Okay, then I will start part 2 of CSS. Okay, let's see part 1 of CSS what I explained in previous video. Okay, if someone missed part 1, you can check that video link in description. You will get part 1 video. Okay, so I just will summarize now. So I just explained what is CSS. CSS is for styling purpose. We can apply background colors, font size, colors, images, background images. So all styling part we can take care in CSS. Okay, what is the CSS syntax? So this is the CSS syntax. So property colon value, we will separate multiple properties with semicolon. So let's say if we want to write multiple properties, color colon red, semicolon, background hyphen color colon green. So multiple properties we are writing like this by separating with semicolon. Okay, selectors. So in this example I just showed h1 is the selector. So like that we can use multiple selectors. So here are the selectors. Selector means we can use as a tag. So all tags we can use as a selector. For example, h1 to h6, div, span, paragraph, all this we can use here. Instead of h1 we can use different selectors also. So we can use class names, id also. So if we use this h1, that will apply for all the h1s, right? So if I want to apply particular for particular element, particular h1 some style, then I can use class or id instead of this tag, because if I use this tag it will apply for all the elements. So at that time we can use the class or id. Okay, types of CSS. There is 3 types of CSS are there: external CSS, internal CSS, inline CSS. External CSS means we will write like this. So we for separating all CSS to different file, we can use the external CSS. So external CSS we will save with extension is .css. Okay, HTML file we will save with .html, right? So similar way CSS file we will save with .css. Okay, so rel style sheet will tell to the browser this is a style sheet file. Okay, that is just for browser understanding this attribute rel equal to style sheet, so that the browser will identify this is a CSS file. Okay, this is external CSS. Internal CSS, internal style means we will write all CSS inside style element. So this style element we will include in the head element. Okay, next one, inline CSS. Inline CSS we will write within element. Okay, for like this we will write it within h1 element we have written this inline CSS, for example. So next, colors. So colors and background colors we can give like this. So 3 different ways we can write colors. Okay, one is with name like red, green, blue. With with name of color we can write like this, color colon red. Second way is hexacode. So for each color can have this hexacode as well as RGB code. So for red, for example, for red color, this is the hexacode, this is the RGB code. Okay, so you can, instead of color colon red, you can use like this also, color colon this hexacode, RGB also similar way. So both all these 3 ways will give same result. Backgrounds. So backgrounds means you can apply background color as well as background image. These 2 are the supporting properties for background image. So background hyphen color, by using this one we can set some background color. Okay, background image. So these 3 are the combination actually. So for setting background image we will use these 3 properties. Background image, background hyphen repeat means by default it will repeat image. Okay, so if we don't want to multiple repeat, we can use this one, background hyphen repeat, no repeat. So only single image will come. Background size means we can set the size of background, how much size it should display. So for example here 200 by 100 I given, so that much only background image will display. Next one, borders. Borders means for giving border we can use this one, border hyphen bottom, border hyphen top. Currently I given border hyphen bottom. Okay, so you can give this solid, dotted, dashed, all these things. Okay. Next, padding and margin. Padding means let's say we have some content and border. So this padding is the gap between content and the border. So that gap is called as padding. So if we, let's say if we want to give some gap between content and border, then we can use the padding. Okay, margin is outside the element. If we want to give some space outside the element, we can use the margin. Okay, so we can write like this, margin and paddings. Next, text align. Text align we will write using text hyphen align property. So if we, by default this will be there, text align left. Okay, if we want to align some middle of the element, some text, you can use text align center. If we want to display some content right side of element, you can use text align right. Next, text transform. Text transformer means you can convert your text to lowercase, uppercase, capitalize. So uppercase means all letters will come into capital letters. Okay, capitalize means in each word first letter will come as a caps one. So if you take this one, hello world, H is the capital, in world W is the caps. So if we use capitalize, so like this it will come, first letter will come capital. So text decoration, using text decoration we will give line under or top of the sentence or middle of the sentence. So if we see here, if we write this one, text decoration overline means on top of any text this line will come. If we write this line through means in middle of the line this line will go. If we use this text decoration line through means, text decoration none means no line will come here. Okay. Next, text spacing. So if we want to give some spacing between letters as well as words, we can use this one. So let's say first one is line height. Line height means let's say you have for some 3-4 lines. For each line you can give the height. So using line hyphen height. So it will not exceed more than this one, whatever we given height. So for each letter, if you want to give space between each letter, you can use letter hyphen spacing. So if you want to give space between each word, you can use word hyphen spacing. So here 5px we given, so each word 5px gap will come. Okay, that is about text spacing. Text shadow. Text shadow means so we can give the shadow of our text so that will reflect to the like this it will reflect. So here 2px is the horizontal shadow, second one is the vertical shadow, 5px is the blurriness. So here if you see some blurriness is coming, last one is the color of the shadow. So here I given some I think red color, so you can give some green or anything. Here I used hexacode actually, so you can use some color, directly color also you can use. Next one, font family. Okay. Using font hyphen family we can specify the font family of the element. Okay, so like this you can do font hyphen family. Georgia means like this it will come, Arial means like this. So for each one differently it will display to the user. Okay, that is just for user purpose. Links. So links we will use for navigating from one page to another page. Let's say from our web page to some Google or Facebook, if we want to navigate, we will write using hyperlink, we will write the links. Okay, for that we can add some styles also. Let's say this underline will come by default for the links. So if we don't want that underline, so we can remove it actually. Okay, and if we want to add some background color, padding, all that thing, we can add it. List means some two types of list will be there, order list and unordered list. Okay, so order list means these things will come. A, B, C or 1, 2, 3 or Roman letters will come. Unordered list means this ones will come. Square or circle, all these things will come. So if we want to change this one, instead of A, B, C, if I want to display 1, 2, 3, then I can display using type equal to 1, means 1, 2, 3 will come. If I display type equal to A means ABC will display. If I use type equal to caps A means caps ABC will display. Okay, this is from HTML we can control, but in CSS also you can control using this attribute style list style type. Using this property we can control that which one should display, either 1, 2, 3 or ABC or this ones. Okay, next one, tables. Table we will display usually for some progress cards or some students report or any if you have multiple rows you can display as a table. Okay, so currently I styled using this even and odd. So here if you see I applied nth child of even, means that whatever I have written CSS, that CSS for it will apply for all the even rows. Okay, nth child odd means, so this will apply for the all odd rows. Let's say 1, 3, 5 like that. Here this is the 1, this is 3, so for that this color will apply. So for 2, 4, 6 all these rows it will apply this one. This is by using nth child we can achieve that one. Font size, using font size we can set the size of the text actually. So if we set font size 14 means this much font will come. If we use 28 means this much. So if we increase the font size, that visible text size will increase. Okay, next one, opacity. Opacity means you can apply opacity like this, opacity colon 0.5 like that. So that range is 0 to 1. So in between 0 to 1 only you should give. If you give 2, 3 like that, it will not reflect actually, that CSS will not apply. So here if you can see the difference. Opacity 0.2 means like this it will come, 0.5 means this one, 1 means maximum one, so there will be no effect will be there. So 0 to 1, in between 0 to 1 only you should give. Opacity means some blurriness it will come, it will add. So that's it about part 1 I have explained. Okay, so today I'm starting part 2. Part 2 means all these things I'm going to explain one by one. I will explain. Okay, if you have any doubts or clarifications required, just comment. I will check comment and I will give reply. So in part 2, first one is the display. Okay, display will have 3 things. One is block, display colon block, display colon inline, display colon none. Okay, none, display colon none means that element itself will not display. Okay, for this one. Display block means, so all block level elements, this is the property. Display block is the default property for block level elements. Okay, display inline is the default property for inline elements. So let's see what is the block level element. Block level element means it will occupy complete width of the browser. Let's say div is the block level element. So if we give border, that will occupy from here to last. Inline element means, for example, span, so that will not occupy complete width. I will show you practically. If I show, we'll get to know. So I'm just creating part2.html. So let's start with basic. So HTML is the root element. Inside the 2 sections will be there. One is the head element. In head element, title will be there. So let's write some title, CSS part 2. Okay. So after head section, body section will start. In body section, let's write some block level elements. Hello, I am block level element. Okay, first we'll save this one and we'll see. So I am using the editor Visual Studio Code editor. Okay, so you can go to Google and you can download this one, Visual Studio Code editor, for writing code. Okay, then you can write the code. So I'm running this file. Here one option is there, open with live server. So this will open in the browser. So I'm just closing other things. So here whatever I have written, that is displaying. Okay, so now div is the block level element. So what is block level, what is inline, first of all? So let's write some CSS, then you will get the difference. So style we will write inside style element. For div I'm giving some class, okay, for identifying this element. Let's say block element. So using this class I will identify the element, and so I will hide this right side part. Yeah, I got some space now. So for this I will write some border 1px solid red, just assume. So I'm just given border, let's see. Okay, see, so border is coming from here to here, so complete browser width it is taking. So block level element always will take browser width. Okay, so it's not only till from here to here, so it's occupying complete width till here. Okay, so that is called block level element. Okay, then what about inline element? Let's see, let's write one inline element. Okay, inline element example is span. Okay, let's write some span. I am a inline element. Okay, let's add some class here, inline element. Okay, so for this let's write border. You will get to know the difference now. Okay, so here you write some border 1px solid, let's write some green. Okay, now let's see. So for inline element I given border green. See, let's give some space between that. Okay, so we can use the breaks or margin. Okay, for now you use break. See, okay, inline element is not taking complete width of the browser, if you see here. Okay, but block level element, for example div, is occupying the complete width of the browser. Inline element is not occupying, whatever text is there till that only it is occupying. Okay, one more thing is, one more use of the inline element. Let's say this is the sentence. Okay, across world India is powerful country. I want to highlight only India word, so at that time we can use the inline element inside inside this element. Okay, if I want to highlight particular word inside block level element, so let's say, let's use some break for giving space. Let's say I'm writing one more block level element. Let's write, what is the sentence, across world India is powerful country, right? So let's write that, across world India is powerful country. Okay, now just save it and see. See, it is coming. So now I want to highlight this India to some different color. So I will keep this India into some inline element. For example, I move this one to inside span, this whatever text I want to highlight. So for this I will give one class India. just I named as India, that class name. So we'll just give some color red. Okay, now see that India is highlighting now. Let's give some space before the this one more space. So if you see here, India is highlighting in between the in this sentence. I'm just highlighting one particular word using inline element. Okay, so what I did inside block level element, I used the inline element. Okay, inline element, for example, I used span for highlighting the inline element. So at that time inline element will useful. Okay, so that will not occupy complete width. Whatever content width is there, that much only it will occupy that sentence. And block level element will occupy complete width of the browser. Okay, okay, let's see. I think some comments. Hello Batna, kaise hai? Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good explanations. Thank you. Hexacolor kaise? Hexacolor. Okay, I will tell you hexacolor. Sir, can you teach me JavaScript? JavaScript I will tell you after this. After CSS section, I will start a JavaScript part. Okay, hexacolor I will tell you. Hexacolor I already explained here actually. If you see here. See, this is the hexacolor. After hash, you need to give some 6 characters. Okay, that is called hexacode. If you search in Google red color with hexacode, you will get this code. Okay, like that only you will get other things also. So that's it about comments. Okay, next let's continue our part. We'll check comments after the session. Yeah, we are here, right? So block level element will occupy complete width of the browser. Inline element will occupy only whatever content is there inside that element, that much only it will occupy. For example, span. See here. Okay, that is about block level and inline element. So for block level element, by default this property will be there, display block. Okay, for inline element, display inline property will be there by default. We need not to give. Display none means that element will not display. Let's give some element. Let's use breaks. Okay, 2 more breaks for spacing. So let's write one div. Hello, I am hidden. Okay, for that let's give some class display none. Okay, so I want to use display property now, display none. Okay, here display colon none. Display none means that element itself will hide. Let's see whether this element will hide or not. So I've written hello, I am hidden. Okay, let's save this one. Let's run in the browser. See, that element is not coming because I have given property display none. Okay, I'm just removing. Let's see now it will display. See, it is displayed. Hello, I am hidden. Okay, so the display none property will make it will hide the element. Okay, next one. Then display inline block. What is display inline block means? Okay, inline block means for inline elements we cannot apply width, height, margin bottom, all these things, all these 4 properties. So if we want to apply margin bottom, margin top, width and height, we can use this display colon inline hyphen block, then we can apply. Otherwise if we apply also, it will not take that properties. So let's take one inline element. For example, span hello I am inline element. Okay, just save it, this one. So here it is coming, hello I am inline element. So for this, just apply some background. Let's give some class first. Display inline block. Okay, so just give background color. I want to give orange. Let's save this one and just run it. See, it is coming now. So now I will apply some width and height for inline element. This is inline element. Okay, for span I want to give height. Let's see whether it will apply or not. Height some 200 px. Okay, let's save this one. See, that height is not taking. I'm giving 200 height 200. So 200 height should give the background color of this orange, but it is not giving. So if we want to apply that one, we will use the display inline-block. Okay, so now this property will come, display inline block. See, now it is occupying complete 200 height. Otherwise, for inline elements, span is inline element. For span, we cannot apply width, height, and margin top and bottom. Okay, so these four properties we cannot apply. If we apply also, it will not take. For applying the CSS for inline elements, we will use the display inline-block. Okay, so for display, total 4 are there. One is display block, display inline, display none means that will not display. Display block means for block level elements will this is the default property that will occupy complete width. Display inline means it will occupy only whatever text is there, that much only it will apply. Display inline block means for inline elements we cannot apply few of the properties like width and height, margin, bottom. So for applying those properties, we will use the display inline block like this. Okay, so let's move to another one, visibility. So similar to display, we have visibility also. Visibility visible and visibility hidden, two properties are there. Okay, visibility hidden means that element will hide. Okay, here if you see visible display none also there, that also will hide the element, but visibility hidden also will hide the element. So I will tell the difference. What is visibility hidden means? Visibility visible means by default element will display whatever we written. Okay, visibility hidden I will tell now. So let's write some element hello I am hidden. Okay, so let's apply some class visibility hidden. Okay. So for this I will write CSS visibility hidden. Okay. Visibility hidden means, see, that element is not coming here because we made it visibility hidden. Okay, so let's write one more element. I will tell you why I am writing hello. Just I have written this one. So for visibility hidden, let's give some height also here. Height 200 px, let's assume. So we are hiding that element and we are giving some 200 height. Okay, see, that element is hidden, but still that is occupying the space. Visibility hidden means, so here one element is there. If you observe here in HTML, hello I am hidden, we have written one element, but we are hiding using the class here, visibility hidden and height 200. So that still occupying the space, but element is hidden. Okay, but we have written previously one element, this display none, that is not occupying the space. Actually, if you see here, display none we have written for this, no, hello, how I am hidden, that element is here, that is not occupying any space actually, but visibility hidden means that is occupying the space. So that is the only difference, visibility hidden and the this one. Here you can see that slide, display none versus visibility hidden. Visibility hidden means element will hide, display none also element will hide, but visibility hidden, that element will occupy the space even though it's hidden, that will occupy the space, but display none element will not occupy the space. See here, still it is occupying the space, element is hidden. Okay, a hidden means we applied visibility hidden. So that is the difference, visibility hidden and display none. Okay. Visibility hidden means it will occupy the space, display none means it will not occupy the space. Next, that is about displays. Okay. Next, positions. Positions means we can move the element left, top, bottom, right, all four sides we can move the element using these positions. Okay. So positions have four types of positions are there. Static. Static means, so that is the default property for the each element. It will display always, it will not move anywhere. Position relative means from existed place, from normal position you can move the element using position relative. Position fixed means if we scroll the browser also, that element will stay, that is fixed element. Whatever you scrolled, or if you move left, right, all whatever you do, that element will be fixed actually. Position absolute means that will take by default from the window. If you give any relative, position relative for the parent, from that parent it will take this position absolute. Okay, so I will show you what all these four things. Static means we need not show because that is the default one, that will not affect anything. Static means. Relative I will show you first. So let's have hello, I am using position relative. Okay, so here give one class, let's say position hyphen relative. For this let's apply some CSS. So we need to give position relative. If we give just position relative, that will not affect anything. We should use left, right, top, bottom, four properties are there. So let's use left 100px. Now it will affect this position relative property because we given left 100, means from existed, from normal position to left 100px it will move the element if we use position relative means. Let's see now. See now here. See, from left to 100px it's moved, and from that position it is displaying. If we give 200 means from 200 it will display. See, similar way we can give, you can give minus also. Let's see now. See, it's going inside inside of this one. Okay, so you can give top also. From top you can say 100px. See, from top 100px is displaying this one. Okay, you can give minus also here also, everywhere you can give minus also. See, it's moved to here element. So using position relative you can move the element to four sides, left, right, top, bottom. Okay, for now just apply left side. Okay, okay, so that is about position relative. From existed position you can move the element to four sides. Okay, next one, position absolute. Let's copy this one. So here you change the class name obvious. Okay, for this let's apply position absolute. Position absolute also Similar to position relative, we will write position absolute. So this will not affect anything. We should give the left, top, bottom, or 4. Any one property you can apply, or 4 properties also you can apply. So let's give left 0. So for this I am giving position absolute and left 0. Which one for this element? Hello, I am using position absolute element. Let's see. Hello, I am using position absolute element. Yeah. See, it is displaying here only. Let's use top 1 instead of left. You will get the difference. Okay. Position absolute top 0 means, see where is it's not at all displaying here. It's gone to here because it will take from the window from top of the window. It will take now because we position absolute element will take from the window by default, and we given top 0 means from top 0 it will apply. Let's say if we give top 100 means from the window top 100 onwards it will display. See here it is displaying till here. So this is our element. So like that you can move across the window. You can using the position absolute element. Okay, you can use left also. Now left 100 px. Save it. See here it is displaying. So now two properties are applying: position absolute, top 100 px, left 100 px. Okay, so like that you can move across the window. But if you have some position relative for the parent of this one, so let's use position relative. So you just add one parent and you add some or else let's write inline style also. Anything is fine. Here I am just writing inline style position relative. So for parent I just added position relative, for child I added position absolute. Now this element will display from the position relative, from the parent position. Okay, if parent position is the relative, then this absolute element will take that position from the, see now it is displaying here. So whatever is based on parent position, this absolute element will take the position. If parent element don't have any position relative, it will take from the window means from here. Okay, so that is about absolute. So let's say I have some now fixed position fixed. What is the position fixed? Let's say here, hello, I am fixed element. So let's write position fixed. So for this let's write position fixed now. Okay. Position fixed. Let's give some background color also, just for identifying, because so many elements are there, right? Background color, let's give some top 0 px. You can give height also, height 100 px. Okay, let's see now. Instead of orange we just give different one, green. Okay, because orange we use it so many places. Now let's see. See, this green one is the position fixed. Okay, so if we scroll also, that is not moving. If you see here, other elements, all other elements are moving, but this element is not moving. So that's why we use the position fixed. If we don't want to move any particular element, we can use the position fixed, and we can use these 4 properties: left, top, bottom, and right, these ones. Okay, and just for identifying, these are the normal styles: height and background colors. Okay. So these are the three elements: position relative, position absolute, and position fixed. Position relative element will take from the existed position. From normal position it will move. Okay. Position absolute element will take from the window by default. But if you have position relative to the parent, then this absolute element will take from the relative element. Okay, position fixed means that is a fixed element. So if we scroll also, that fixed element will move, it will not scroll, not at all, it will scroll. Okay. For header and all you can use position fixed, because most of the websites that header will not move, okay, while scrolling also. So that is about these things, positions. Okay. Next, overflow. Overflow means let's say we have some element, but content is more than the height. Okay, then that will exceed the height. This scroll will not come high for that element. If we want to give height, if we want to get the scroll, we need to apply overflow scroll or overflow auto, otherwise it will exceed like this. If we want to hide that more content, we can use the overflow hidden. Okay, let's see all overflows. Let's say hello, I am overflow element. So let's use some class text overflow. So I just return one CSS, one class. So let's apply some this one. Let's apply background color orchid. Some height also you just apply, because we are checking overflow whether it is working or not. Let's say 100 px. Okay, and we can give the width also. Now let's see, open the browser and check. See, here it is coming. Let's add more content, then only we can test this one. So now I added more content. See it is going it is exceeded this content more than the height and width. Okay, it is coming like this. Okay, so if we don't want to exceed the this one, if we want to some scroll here, you can give overflow auto or overflow scroll. Okay, if you want to hide this one, overflow hidden directly. Let's see overflow hidden first. So overflow hidden. Now let's see what will happen. See, this content, whatever exceeded content, that is not displaying inside the content, it is hidden now. Okay, that is that is the use of overflow hidden. Okay, now let's see how scrolls will come. I will give overflow scroll, overflow auto. See, now scroll is coming horizontally and vertically. Overflow auto means it will check the content. If it is exceeding the height, then this scrolls will come automatically. Where is this? Like this. Okay, one more property is there, overflow scroll. Overflow scroll means that also similar to overflow auto only, but this scroll will display always. Okay, if you are using Windows laptop, you will observe this one. I am using Mac laptop, so I cannot show you that exactly, because this scroll will not display always. So if we use overflow scroll, means that scroll, whatever, if it is not required, this scroll also it will display, if it is not exceeding the content also. So better we should use overflow auto. Then if this overflow auto will check, if content is exceeding, then only this scroll bar will come, otherwise it will not come. Okay, that's about overflow. So overflow having 4 properties. Overflow visible means by default that is the property, overflow visible. So if content is more, that will it will display like this, scroll will not come. Overflow hidden means we can hide that content, whatever exceeded the content. Overflow scroll means, overflow scroll and auto means scroll bar will come left and right if it is exceeded. Next, forms. Forms means normal forms, we can write it and we can do this one, some styling. Let's write some sample form and I will show you how to style that. form. Let's use some form element. Inside that, let's use quickly input type equal to text. Let's use label also. Label, let's say username. Okay. So similar way, let's use password also. And let's use some buttons now. Input type equal to submit. Similar way, let's write one more button, reset. Now I will show you how we can do input type password. Okay. Let's see how this one will display. See, this is inline elements. So form elements, most of the form elements are inline elements, so it is coming in single line. Okay, let's give some breaks here before form. So it is coming now. So if we want to come this in new line, so either we can use the break or we can keep this one inside the div. Anything is fine. Let's put this one inside the div. Div is the block level element that will start with the new line. So other elements it will not allow inside this one. Okay, let's see now. See, this is coming in new line. Similar way, so whatever you want to put, all you can move inside the div. Now let's see. So it is coming now like this. So let's give some breaks here. It is coming like this, right? So this is not looking good actually for looking wise. So let's style this one first of all. So first of all, let's give some border and title for this. So using field set, we will give the border. We can give the border. So let's move all the content into field set. Let's format this one. Yeah. So all I move to field set. Let's save this one and let's see in the browser how it will see. Across the form, some border is coming. If I use it field set element. Okay. So next one is the legend. One more combination is legend. Field set and legend are the combination. So in legend we can give the title of the form. Let's say login form. Let's save this one. See, now it is coming like here, login form. Okay. So if I want to put this one in the middle here, you can give for this element. If you use text align center, that text will come inside the center. Now see. Okay, this is not a class, so I just used element tag. Okay, see, it is coming like this. If I want to different color for that title color, let's use different one and some font weight bold. So I want to give some boldness. See here, it's not looking good, so let's give different color. See, it is coming like this now. So now this much form we don't want till this much, so let's give some width of this this one form. So let's use the form element. So let's give some width with some, let's say 200 px. See, it is coming now. Now I think it is looking good, but let's move this one to the center of the center of the screen. How we can do that? there is one property is there, margin auto, that will make all our content to center of the screen. I think now it is looking good. Okay, so this is about styling of the form. So I used, you can see the HTML part. I used form element. This is the normal HTML part, but I used for border, I used field set. So border is coming in between. This one I used legend also. Legend is for title of the form. Okay, so in legend we can give the title of the form. I given login form. Okay, for that again I styled using this one, legend tag. I use text align center, means center of this one it will come the title, and I have used some styling, color, font weight, all that things. And I used one new one, margin auto. Margin auto means complete our form, whatever it is, form or div, whatever paragraph, anything, that complete element will move to the center of the screen horizontally. This one, this property, margin auto. Okay, so that is about styling part, forms. Okay, let's go to next one, border radius. Border radius means, see here, if you observe these corners, this corners is some rounded one came. If we want to make some circle, you can use this one, like this. Border radius 50% means a circle will come. If we use 20 px means this rounded little corners will come. If we increase this border radius like this, it will convert finally. Okay, let's use border radius first. So after form, let's use some breaks. Breaks or margin, you can give anything. For now I am giving breaks, but better to use margin. Okay, so let's use one element. So let's say rounded corners, corner one. Okay, let's write something here. I just created empty element. Let's style that one using border radius. How we can do that? Border radius some 10 px. Just to give some background color, this one, some width and height, width 100 px, height 100 px. So I'm just giving empty element with height and border radius. Let's see how it will come. See, these corners are a little bit rounded. If you give little bit more, some 100 px, let's see how it will come. See, 100 px is coming. Let's give 50 px. 50 also coming more actually. So let's give 20 px. See, rounded corners are coming. Okay, if you see some 30 px, little more corners will come. So if you increase that this border radius, corner this sharpness will increase. Okay, if you use half of the width, then it will give rounded one. See, so 100 px is the width. In that width I given half of the width, 50 px. Then this rounded complete round, it's become to circle from the square. Okay, so like that you can give the anything. So similar way you can use the border radius for images also. Okay, so let's apply some image part quickly. Image src equal to, so I have few images, image colors dot jpg. Let's give image. Okay, let's add some class here, rounded. Okay, let's use image rounded. So for this one I just will apply few css. So I want to give this to width and height for the image. Okay, now just we'll see normal one how it will display. See, this is the image I am displaying. So for this I will give some border radius. Let's see how it will come. Border radius 10 px I will given. Okay, let's see. See, rounded corner scheme. Let's give some 30 px. See, it is becoming like this. See, if I give half of the width, see, it is become circle now. So like that you can use the border radius for becoming the corners to the rounded ones. Okay, that is the use. So if you use this thing, so here if you use a smaller one border radius, it will become small one. If you use bigger border radius, it will convert to finally like this. Based on your range, whatever you are giving, that will convert like this. Next one, background color with opacity. So here I used the first one is the just background color, RGB value I used. Instead of RGB you can give the normal color also. It will apply like this. So this is normally. Okay. I want to apply opacity for that. This one. If I apply opacity, it is that opacity is applying to the text also. Because of this, I am unable to read properly this text because the text is blurred now. Because I give an opacity 0.5. Okay, you can observe the third example here. Background color RGBA. Now new one came. Till now we have seen RGB. Okay, but RGBA also there. RGBA means background color with opacity. Okay, here fourth parameter will come in RGBA. Fourth parameter is the opacity. So in this example, this is the what is the use means this opacity will apply only for background color, not for the text. RGBA means. Okay, if you apply separately this opacity 0.5, that is applying to the text also, but I don't want to apply opacity to the text. I want to apply that opacity to the only background color. So at that time we can use the RGBA. So background color with opacity. So that opacity will not affect the text. It will affect only the background color. So here we need to observe the difference RGB and RGBA. RGB means just background color. RGBA means background color with opacity. Okay. If we give like this separately both background color and opacity, that will affect this opacity to the text also. So if we don't want affect opacity to the text, we should use the RGBA. Next one, gradients. So till now we have seen background colors with a single color, red, green, orange, like that, but we can give multiple colors also like this. Using background image, radial gradient, linear gradient, two things are there. Using radial gradient, so we can add multiple properties, multiple colors, red, green, yellow, all these three will come like this, radial. If we, in case of linear gradient, it will display like this. Okay, let's see, that's one example. Let's use one div linear gradient. So let's use so for this let's apply some CSS. Okay, so let's apply this one background. Okay, now let's see. So it is applying multiple colors. Let's give some height and width. Height also, height 100 px. Okay, let's give width also. Now let's see. See, it is coming like this. Okay, so here I have combined three colors, red, yellow and green. So all these three colors mixed and it is showing like this linear gradient. Let's apply radial gradient now. Okay, so let's go here, change the class name radial. So for this, let's apply some CSS. We can apply same CSS only. Just for the difference, I will tell the difference here. Instead of radial, sir, here it should be linear. Okay. So here this is the only difference, linear hyphen gradient. Here radial hyphen gradient will come. Linear means just plain one will come, one by one. Radial means some circular way it will come. Okay, if you see here, circular way it's came radial. Linear means one by one color it's displaying, red, green and blue. Okay, so this is about gradients. So you can combine multiple colors as a background color. We will use here property name is background image colon radial hyphen gradient or linear hyphen gradient. Okay, if we want to combine multiple colors. Next one, transitions. Transition means we can change some property in certain duration. Okay, so here on hover we are changing this one. If you see here on hover we are changing the width and height. By default 100 by 100 we have given, but on hover we have given 300 by 300. Okay, so that we are changing this width and height, these two properties. So if we use these transitions, this changing will happen in this particular time duration whatever we mention. So we should write like this, transition colon property name and the duration comma one more property name space this one duration. Okay, so that this property change from 100 to 300 will happen in the 2 seconds. Let's apply this one, you will get to know. But these are the more important things, transitions. You will feel once I did. So let's add some transition example. Okay, so let's, one second. So let's use transition. Okay, just this is fine. Go to here, let's say I have width 100 px, let's give 200, height also 200. Just for background color also you can give some, let's give purple now. Okay, let's see first this one. See, this is coming right, and let's give 100 by 100 instead of this much. Okay, this much is coming. So now let's give hover now for this. On hover I will apply transition. Hover we will write like this, hover let's say width I am changing to 200 px and height also I will change it to 200 px. Okay, now let's see it is changing suddenly this transition, but I want to change in particular duration. Let's it's not smooth actually currently transition, so I will make it to smooth now. Transition let's say here we need to mention the property name with some 2 seconds comma height colon 4 seconds space required here. So this property will change from 100 to 200 px width in 2 seconds. Height also, height will change into 4 seconds. We can give this time ourselves whatever we want. So let's see now. See, you can observe this one smoothly. So this changing some changing property width and height is happening in 2 seconds and 4 seconds whatever we mentioned. If we want to, we can reduce this one 1 second to 2 seconds. Okay, so now width will change in 1 second and height will change in 2 seconds. So these transitions are the more important role in CSS. Transitions, and next one more thing will come, animations also. So without changing any property, suddenly we can change some properties in certain duration. Okay, so if you see here, width and height we changed in 2 seconds and 4 seconds instead of changing directly immediately. This is about transitions. So we are changing width property in 2 seconds and height property in 4 seconds. Next, transformations. Transformations means, so if we want to this transformations useful for moving the element or rotating the element or scaling the elements. So let's say here one element is there, I want to move to some different position, then you can use like this, translate, transform colon translate. You can move from one place to another place. Similar way, rotate also. So I want to rotate to some 20 degrees or 50 degrees. So 0 to 360 degrees you can rotate any element. Scale means you can increase, let's say how 100 by 100 is there. Scale of 3 means 300 by 300 will come that width. Okay, so you can check these examples after that one by one. Translate, rotate. Translate is for moving the element, rotate is for rotating the element, scaling is for expanding our element, scaling the element. Okay, next, animations. Animations will be for changing one color to another color, or one property to another property, you can use these animations. Actually, this will take time, animations and transformations. So I'll give in separate section this animations. Okay, but animation we will write like this: animation colon animation name and the time. Okay, 4 seconds this property will change from red to yellow. This I will tell you in separate session, because this is a little big topic. Next, horizontal align. Okay, only 2-3 slides are there, I will complete in 2 minutes. Horizontal element. So I just explained already this one. Margin auto mean, by using this margin auto we can move any element to horizontally to the center. So if you see here, this form we used margin auto, so that's why it is coming horizontally center of the screen. Okay, next one. So here width is required, otherwise this margin auto will not apply. If you, these two are the combinations, width 100 px and margin auto. So this 100 px will come in the middle of the browser width. So that is about horizontally centering an element. This is method 1. So there is one more method is there. Using display flex we can align the this one horizontally center. Let's use one thing. This display flex also more important, so I just will explain for 1 minute. So let's have some parent. Okay, so inside that let's keep 3 elements, child 1, sorry. So let's use some class here. Why this is not copy? Okay, yeah. So let's assume we have 3 childs in the parent. Okay, now let's see how this flex will work. For this parent, if we apply, let's go here, let's apply display flex. All this, whatever child, currently we have 3 childs, right? So all these childs will come in the side by side. See here, child 1, child 2, child 3, 3 things are coming side by side. So if we want to put multiple elements side by side, we can use the display flex to the parent. Okay, for child let's apply some background color because empty is there. Let's apply width 100 px 800 ps, some background color, red. Okay, let's assume this one. See, all side by side is coming, right? So this, so let's give background color for each child, then you will get the difference. So let's move this one to each child, different background color. Child 1 red, let's give child 2, child 3. Okay, let's give green, let's give orange. Okay, let's apply this class to this one, child 1, child 2, child 3. Okay, now let's see 3 different colors are coming now. So now we kept for parent what we've written, display flex. Okay, so that's making all child to side by side. Let's use justify content center. What will happen? See now this all childs, it is moving to the center of the width. Okay, this is alternative to the margin auto. If you see the documentation, so here I told using margin auto we will center the any element in the browser width. So using flex also we can make it center of the width, center of the element. So using justify content center, just to display flex means all childs it will make to the side by side, but if we use justify content center, all childs it will make to the side by side. Okay, but there are some more things are there in this. Instead of center I just will use justify content space around, space between. These 2 more are there, just see what will happen. See, so space between means each child between space it is giving equally. Okay, there is some more are there. Space around means around the space it is giving equal space. There is evenly also there. Justify content space evenly. Where is this? Yeah. Okay, for now you forget this one. Just you can do this one. Justify content center and justify content space between. Okay, so these 2 properties will useful for this. See here now. Space between means it is coming like this. In between the childs each equal gap is coming. Justify content center means it will apply just it will make center of the element. Okay, so these are the different properties for the flex. There is one more is there, align item center also. Align item center means this will make our content to vertically center. Okay, let's go to documentation. See here, let's say I have some height. In that height I want to keep my childs to vertically middle, then I can use this one, align item center. But if I want to display horizontally in middle, I will use the justify content center, but align item center useful for the vertically in middle. Okay, let's say in browser height, if you want to keep some element in middle of the browser height, you can use this one for the parent. For child you need not to write anything. All flex properties you will apply only for the parent, display flex and align item center. Yeah, that's it about flex works. So yeah, this is about part 2. Okay, So you can practice part 1 and part 2, and you can let me know if you have any doubts or clarifications needed. And in next class onwards, I will show you practically how to align, how to make a design, how to develop a web page, okay, how to create a menu, okay, some animations, transitions, whatever important things I will show you next 1 week. Okay, next I think 4-5 classes I will show you how to develop a menu, how to develop a sidebar, how to design a web page. Actual real time HTML and CSS I will show you in next classes. Okay.